Hey guys, welcome back to Fire Emblem Month. So we're going to do the Nohr minor characters. So we're going to do Nyx at the moment. Now Nyx is kind of reminds me a bit of, what's her name again? Jeez, I'm bad with names. The female dark mage from the previous game. Although she actually shows up in this game as a different character largely because she was so popular. So Nyx is a girl who was born with immense dark magical abilities, and it went to her head and she went crazy. As a girl, Nyx would kill people for fun. She'd kill innocents, she'd torture people, she'd kill animals, she'd enslave them. She was an absolute monster. Eventually, though, the dark magic took a toll on her, and it resulted in her cursing herself, becoming unable to age. Now, this would be a good thing, but she's stuck in a child's body. So she's probably hundreds of years old at this point, but she's unable to ever properly grow up. And over time, she kind of became suicidal and horrified at her fate. And she eventually kind of started to atone for what she did, and she spent the rest of her eternity trying to right the wrongs that she did. So when we come across her, she's a very morose, a very depressive, a very kind of dank character, as she's trying to make up for a multitude of sins and believes that she has no right to ever be happy or to ever kind of get enjoyment in life again. So her conversations with people are normally about them trying to help her get over their guilt. Leo promises to help her find a cure for the curse. Niles really is one of the few people who understands her. Odin and her just get along because they're both dark mages, etc. She has a rather dark and kind of complex and very mature character, which is matched with her childlike appearance. I never romanced her because I wasn't huge on her personality, and the fact that she looks like a child doesn't really play well with me. Nyx isn't a bad character. I don't really use her much because you normally get better mages. Leo's a better mage, and some of the other characters you get are just better, so I don't really use her much, but she's okay, I guess. Charlotte's a character who's likable for very obvious reasons, two very obvious reasons. Charlotte is actually a really good character. She's pretty good as a fighter, actually. Basically, her background is she comes from a lower middle class family, and she was able to join the army and get promoted within it because of her skill and talent as a fighter. The thing is, though, her family is still relatively poor. So her dream is to use her assets. That is, both of them. Although her face is actually quite beautiful as well, as is her hair and eyes. But to use her assets to marry high up, which is why she wears such provocative outfits. She really is trying to seduce someone who's higher up in the army, someone who's wealthy, maybe a prince if she can get a hand on it, or just some sort of noble, so that they can provide for her and her family. Which is actually somewhat admirable. So she basically just tries to suck up to people. Normally what she does is she makes them food, she just acts very submissive, she acts very flirtatious, she laughs at jokes when they aren't funny. She just kind of does all that stuff. So I actually kind of like Charlotte. Her romance ones are always memorable, largely because they tend to result in her trying to manipulate people, but then people kind of realizing the inner her who's a lot more kind of selfish and caustic, and kind of falling in love with that too. And them eventually kind of coming to terms with both aspects of her personality. So no, I like Charlotte. Sometime I might make her my romance option. So I've done her and Xander is pretty good. Her and Leo is pretty bad. Her and Laszlo is pretty funny. And I think that's all I've done at the moment. Finally, we have Benny. Now, Benny is kind of interesting. I don't know too much about him, but he's actually a gentle giant. Now, I didn't use him much just because of the way he looks. And I thought he was just kind of some Frankenstein type guy. But he's actually a very gentle creature who loves animals. He loves animals, he loves little kids, he loves anything that's kind of cute. And basically, he's just very kind of kind and compassionate. And his son Ignatius, which is an awesome name, is very similar. Very kind of scary looking, but with a very good heart on the inside. Benny is loyal and brave, and overall just kind of a stand-up guy. So those are the Nohr minor characters. I hope you enjoyed it. This is Argent, and I'll talk to you guys later.